Yo, what's up, guys? It's Ash, aka Boogie, back again with a new video. This time I want to do something a little bit different. I'm a big fan of NRL and a big fan of sports, so I want to do a little bit of sports content as well with this channel. Pretty much just grow as a person and show personality on this channel. I also want to do forward drive videos and all that sort of stuff, but I hope you guys enjoy anyway. So today I'm going to be talking about my NRL fantasy team. Basically like players I thought about, players I got in the team. All of this is it's going to be changing the way it goes coming into the year, but at the moment, in February right now, March is when everything starts. This is the team I'm thinking of, and as I said, this could all change. The starting list, injuries in preseason, like we still got trials to go through, so this is all subject to change, but at the moment, this is what I'm thinking of, and this is kind of why I wanted to make the video. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the first player I'm going to be talking about, obviously, is James Tedesco. So he's going to be I think he's going to be my captain this year, the way everything goes. He's very consistent, barely gets injured. I know there's rumors that he had a knee injury. I think they said that he had stem cells trying to fix the knee or something like that. I'm not too worried about that. Knowing James Tedesco, he's consistent, always is the best fullback in the league at the moment. If you go by consistency and skills, like you could say, like Tommy Turbo is the best player on his day. But if there's anything like you want to build a team from the start, like James is going to be it, you know. So I feel like the Roosters going to have a massive year this year. That's the reason why I got two of the big boys or three of the big boys in the Roosters. Could add four, but I feel like they're going to take up a lot of the points this year and really carry my team. The next player I want to talk about, I got Xavier Coates. So he's gone to the Storm from the Broncos, and if you all knew Xavier Coates before, he is a star-studded talent from the Broncos. On his day, he could be the best player in the field. And I feel like the Storm are going to get the most consistency out of him. Obviously, we know this from Storm players. So I know the Storm have been up and down this preseason. It's kind of the first time we've seen like their team be really questioned and all that sort of stuff. But knowing the Storm, knowing Craig Bellamy, depending on if he's staying, Xavier Coates is gonna have a good role this year. No Fox, so he slips straight into that wing spot. The other player I've got here is Rocco Berry. So he comes from the Warriors, who's my favorite team in the league. So I know a lot of Rocco Berry and how consistent he is. That's what the biggest tick I have for him. As a young player, he's really consistent. Great defense, good offense, someone to build around. He's young. He's got a good body, athleticism. Pause. Good body. Shit. Come on, Ash. That's weird as fuck. Anyway, continuing on, he's an amazing player that I see so much upside with. So at 358k, like the same with Xavier Coates at 330, I just see all upside there. I don't really see downside. Like you could go with people like we'll look into the wing of fullbacks now. So you got you're looking at people obviously like Tommy Turbo, you got To'o, you got Latrell with suspension over him. Obviously I feel like this price is going to go down the less he plays, obviously, and when he comes back, maybe we get him at a better price, but I feel like these players are going to consistently stay where I need them to be and be as good as what I need them to be. You got people like Dewey that could be playing like 5'8" or not, so he could slip in somewhere around here, but depending on what their pairing is, like there's so much up in the air with the Tigers this year. You got players like Garrick, is an amazing winger, like he could have been definitely it. And the way the Seagulls are going to look this year, like they're on the up and up, and he kicks goals, he's going to get points, but I just don't know. Reece Walsh, 55, he's starting with suspension at the start of the year, and then you start going with like Papi and Hines and stuff. Like, again, all arguments, I could slip these guys in the team, but like, I feel like there is big upside here. Like, Coates, I feel like is massive upside for 330 at the Storm, where the Fox was the star on that wing there. So like slip him in, man, like and he will shine, honestly. Give him a little bit, and Rocco, he's consistently gonna be there, and I'm sure of that. So I feel like, and even then, like he's got the center role as well, so I can slip him in there and I'll slip someone out, and I got a lot of meshing to do here, so I'm just trying to spitballing ideas. Moving on, we're going on with the centres. So we got Stephen Crawton. We all know him obviously from the intercept that changed their grand final last year. Obviously Panthers winning a grand final, and he is one of their best up and coming players or best players at the moment. So definitely thought for 350k, he's going to have more of a role this year. Obviously with players like Kurt Catewell gone and all that sort of stuff. Like I think I've heard from Bloke in a Bar. I love watching Bloke in a Bar, Rugby League Guru and stuff. I get a lot of information from them. I also watch a lot of NRL, so we're back and forth. But I remember, I think Bloke in a Bar was saying, like Rugby League Guru was saying that Crichton is going back to his preferred side of centre. And obviously with the year where Dylan Edwards, I think it's Dylan Edwards, yeah, that is their fullback, he should be playing consistent minutes this year, no injuries, and Crichton will slip straight back into his centre role. Unless, if everything goes out of the water, you got Isaac Tago and you got Talon May that could slip in, and like maybe they ship him back to fullback, but I feel like Crichton's going to have a more consistent role at centre this year. And then my other player, I got Matthew Feyega, Matthew Feyega, sorry. So yeah, I got Matthew Feyega. He's a big up and comer from the Dragons. They got a lot of like big young boys that are coming through the league now, so they're actually hitting their straps to get into first grade, and he's one of them. I have heard a lot of upside from him, and with the games he's played, I've seen it. Like he's gonna be good, and I feel like Jack Bird's gonna be moving into more of a forward role, which frees up a spot for him. Ramsey, I don't know where Ramsey's going to sit. I don't know where Ravalawa is going to sit. And who else? They got Sully in the club now too. So Sully's going to have a good spot there. He could have also been a good pickup as well. I feel like he's going to be a damaging year. But I know there's so much upside here with 390k. Like, it's only up and up, man. So one of my main halves I'm probably going to keep for most of the year is Luke Kiri, unless of injury. The only thing with Kiri, the only cloud you ever have over Kiri is injuries, honestly. But with this Roosters team this year, he's going to be the most impactful player on that field. And the way I say that, it's debatable between him and Teddy, who is the most impactful with the Roosters. Obviously with the forwards as well, you got like Radley and stuff like that. But when Kiri is playing well and on the trot, like Roosters are flying. And without him, you still see like a good Roosters team, but I feel like he's the difference between good and great. And I feel like the Roosters are going to be so hard to beat this year, especially full strength. And then my other halves pairing with him is Jackson Hastings. So Jackson has came back from England. He used to play in the NRL. He played for the Roosters, played for Manly, and then got shipped over to England through a whole lot of controversy. But he's coming back. I feel like he's got a point to prove. He played really well over in England, and the only cloud over him is whether the Tigers, as I was saying before, what halves pairing are they going to have? Like, are they going to have Luke Brooks and Dewey? Are they going to have Jackson Hastings and Dewey? Are they going to have Jax Hastings and Brooksy to start the season, and Dewey, when he comes back in the team, go center? Like, there's so many ways they could kind of switch things around and all that sort of stuff. So that's the only cloud over him. So maybe later on this year or before the start, I try to figure out maybe slipping in someone else to get into this half role. But at the moment, I feel like for 450, I think he's got a lot of upside. So on the edge, I have Olokawatu from Manly. So Olokawatu had a breakout year sort of at the end of the year last year. I feel like he's only up and up from there. I'm excited to see what he's got to bring this year at 620k. It's a little bit of money for him, but I feel like he's another sort of kick-out type player. So I'm excited to see what he does this year. Liam Mutton, obviously with Kurt Catewell coming off the Panthers into the Broncos, I feel like he's going to have a bigger starting role, and I think those Panthers are just going to keep charging forward, running off people like Kiri and Cleary, and the way he's in the game every game that I see him in, he comes off the bench, a lot of energy, makes his tackles, runs good lines. I think he's going to have a great year. He's pretty much a Kurt Catewell, maybe a little bit bigger. Good strength, like he's got a good head on his shoulders, so I feel like he's going to have a great year and very consistent. So Adam Fanua-Blake's my first middle that I did pick. Being a Warriors fan, I'm gonna be like, I love Adam Fanua-Blake and what he brings. The only cloud over him is injuries. Obviously, last year he had a lot of injuries and maybe suspension here or there. But for 651, like I feel like the way he plays and he's got to carry a lot of the Warriors to start the season this year. Like Tohu Harris is out for a bit. He's going to push through that forward pack and bring everyone forward. And he was amazing last year. So for whatever times he was playing for us, he was amazing. And I got to give him that spot. Otto Ikamanu is my other player that I did pick. So I heard a lot of upside from Oka Ikamanu from Bloke in a Bar, Rugby League Guru. He even made the New South Wales reserve squad. So like he was in the camp. He got to learn from like some of the big boys and stuff. He said Finucane was a shining light for him in that camp. Like he figured out from there what it's got to take to be at that next level. And I feel like this year he's going to take that next step up. For 557, man, for a young, a big body that always like energy, he's going to be good this year. And my other player I got here is Victor Radley. I was throwing up, I think Crawton's on the edge position, but even if he was middle in that, it was either him or Crawton. So like Crawton is going to have a great year as well, obviously being offside from Kiri. But with Victor Radley, the only cloud I have over him is suspension. So, but whenever he's on the field, he's one of the most damaging players. He's got hands like a 5'8", and being through the middle, I feel like the Roosters, when they have like Kiri back and then you have Radley, you got those like inside out sort of players running through the middle. Teddy's going to be busting through everything. You got offloads everywhere, and defensively he's going to make his tackles. So I feel like he'd be good value. So this is probably one of my most controversial ones out of all of them. I want to give a reason why I picked Blake Brayley as my hooker. Number one, he's got Beryls behind him who has a lot of shine from Q Carp. So I feel like he's got to step up. Like not to say he hasn't stepped up before, but I feel like he's going to have to play really well to keep his starting spot. And then you look at like all your hookers that you got this year. I saw a lot of like injuries, Reds, obviously like moving on to next club. So Reid Mahoney has got that. He's moving on to the Doggies next year. You never know what's going to happen, whether they're going to play him a little bit less or this and that. You got Cookie that, from rumors that I've heard on Bloke in a Bar mostly, that Cookie may take less minutes this year. I'm not sure how true that is, but I know that the Rabbits are pushing towards more of a younger squad now, which is real weird. Like obviously shipping off Reynolds and that. I don't know who's going to really like slip into that hooker role and play the other 20 minutes or something that they're saying. But that's why I kind of, and for 767K, like I just couldn't pick Cookie this year. Other years, Cookie's one of my tops. So, but you just never know. Brayley was my hooker last year. Starting off with a big injury this year. So we won't see him till later on. So I'm going to wait till that price comes down. Harry Grant and Brendan Smith starting off with freaking suspensions from the off-season, I'm pretty sure. I can't put him in the team yet. And because they both share a lot of big roles in that team, I know they do average high scores and stuff, but it's just I'm going to have to see how they come back and how they play. And for their prices and stuff, like you could slip them in there somewhere, but I just want to maybe see if the price goes down a little bit for their suspension, see what happens. McCulloch, I'm not too positive on McCulloch. You know, he is aging a little bit, very consistent, always there. I'm not taking anything away from him, amazing, but I just don't know if he will consistently keep up where he needs to be and keep his starting spot, because you got people like Bud Sullivan that are coming through, and he's not a normal hooker, but the Dragons have been playing him through hooker to try and get him a spot in the team. And you got Moses Mbita taking their spot, and you got a Monet that's taking the spot. And like the Dragons got a lot of switching and changing a lot there. So like having a Dragons hooker or half other than Ben Hunt, who could have injuries over him, you never know with the Dragons this year with their halves. But if they figure it out, man, they got a damaging team. Like if you think of it like from their younger juniors and stuff, for the next couple of years, they're going to be good. But just at the moment, I'm not too sure. And Coruscant, obviously with contract staff, Connor Watson to a new team and may play different positions all the time. 14, hooker, you never know. And then going down from there, like I just see a lot more upside in someone like Brayley than a lot of these others here. Kobe Harrington could have been another one. I was speaking to a mate of mine, Brody. Shout out, bro. You did have him in his team, and I think he's an amazing pickup for the price. And I definitely could see myself slipping him in here somehow. I might even do it. I'm not sure. He's going to have a lot of upside. So that's the only thing with him, and having both the hooker and mid role there, like for fantasy, it'd be amazing. So he's definitely someone to pick up. Don't obviously judge what my team here. As I keep saying, could change. Never know. But this is what I've got so far. So I'm trying to grasp at something here. But obviously Tanner Boyd, and you got Otukolo. He's got a big name in the juniors for the Warriors. He's an up and comer. He looks really good. So he might take the role from Wade Egan if Egan deals with injuries or inconsistency. But then, like, man, that's what I mean. The other player I was looking at is Ruben Cotter. Shout out to my Mrs. Little Brother Rendon. He reckons that he was one of the best players he ever played against in when he played for Wavell, and he made, like, you know, all the rep squads and stuff. Like, Rendon was supposed to be a big thing, and before he had a heart change, and, you know, I respect him for it and all that. And he said that he played against Payne Haas, all that sort of stuff, and he reckons Ruben Cotter consistently, he used to put shots on, and he's an amazing player. So for 500k, I don't know yet, but like he could be someone we watch out for the Cowboys. And I don't really have too many Cowboys in this team. I do have like a couple of players I do like from the Cowboys. I just can't fit them in this team really. So off on my bench, I got Kepi. I think Kepi's going to have a good year this year. Real grimy sort of forward, always there. I think he probably snag a starting role sometime, or maybe even start this season in a starting role. Like, but Manly on the up and up. I feel like a forward like him will continue on the up and up. So that's why I picked him up for 402. Spencer Linu for 322. He's got a lot of upside. I know Bloke in a Bar said that he could have been last year in the New South Wales squad, which was crazy like to think about. But he, after watching him play, like I understand, like he's aggressive, got so much energy, and with a lot of the forwards, like Kickout's left, leaving, Kate Wells left. There's a lot of spots there, and Linu could fill that spot, and so much energy. So I got to have him in the team for 322. I think that's cheap. Will Penasini is a big up and comer. He definitely could switch out with Feyega. He has so much upside from what I hear. And the last two finals games I watched him play, he looked the part. So for 350k, there's a lot of centers here that are juniors that are coming up and have big names behind them that I'm excited to see this year. Like this season, I'm so excited. And Blake Taffy, me and Brody both had this pick because it's kind of up in the air now. Like the Rabbits go with Milford, will the Rabbits go with Magoulias, will the Rabbits go with Taffy to pair with Cody Walker? And I think Taffy, out of all of them, I feel like will snag that starting role. If he doesn't, obviously switch him out on that, but 330k, that's like cheap as, and I feel like he's going to be the one there. And as a starting half for the Rabbits, with players like, you know, Latrell and Cody Walker, he may get a lot of points from try assists, good kicking game, so I feel like he's a good player to have around my bench. So going to reserves, emergency or reserves, whatever you want to call them, but you got Isaac Tago. He's got a massive name from Penrith. That Penrith New South Wales squad is unreal, so you got to have someone from that. I do want to have fucking Taylor May. I keep forgetting his name, but because there's Tyron May, Taylor May and Tago have big names from the New South Wales Cup, as well as Mitch Kenny. That's another reason why freaking Coruscant, I couldn't really pick Coruscant because, like, I know with him leaving the club, they probably want Mitch Kenny in there as much as possible. So there's a lot of like up and downs there. But anyway, Tago, if he gets a chance in that centre role on the other side of the field, and even if they have Talon May be his offside winger, like these boys could be really damaging. From what I've seen of them, they got a lot of talent. Obviously, as I said before, Jaden Beryl. I know for 220, he is going to push for that role with Brayley. He may even push to get 14. You never know, but he has a lot of upside. Played hooker in a Q Cup. Played really, really well in the grand final last year. So much upside. I agree with everything the boys said on Bloke in a Bar and that. Like, he looks good. Aaron Penne, he is one of our biggest shining lights, one of our best recruits. He's going to be a big thing, whether it is this year, next year. That's the only thing that has over him. That's why I picked him up. He may get a bench role this year. He may even get a starting role by the end of this year. So I really wanted to keep him for 348k. There's big talk around him, and as a Warriors fan, I'm so excited to have him in the team. I'm really excited. And one of the Fainu brothers. So Sione is the younger brother of Manasi, and Manasi, hopefully he gets off his court case and comes back to the league, because Manasi is a beast, and I want to see him. Obviously if he's guilty in that, is what it is. But apparently his younger brother Sione is bigger and obviously playing in middle. He's got a lot of athleticism and apparently a lot of upside there. And there's even a younger brother that apparently is the next best thing as well. Like, there's a lot of talk around these juniors. Like, there's so much talent in the league at the moment. So that's the reason why I'm so excited for the footy this year. Being a Warriors fan, like, I feel like we've got some sort of chance this year. As a normal Warriors fan will say, always keep the faith. But there's just so much talent, so many teams that could go somewhere. Like, and I'll probably do a video on like who I think the ladder and stuff. But like, you got like the Dragons after last year. I don't know where they'll sit. If those juniors kick on, like, they could go anywhere with like the experience around them. But if they don't, like, there's a lot of the Titans are another one where if Toby Sexton kicks on with Brimson, like, they could be really good. But it's what happens if one of them get injured, or there's a lot of pressure on Sexton. That team can come crashing down again. But like, they have a lot of upside there too. Like, Jaden Campbell's amazing, another player I could have put in the squad. But obviously you got the Doggies recruited really well this year. So they're going to be around about the mark. Other team, like, I don't know where the Raiders sit this year. I know the Sharks recruited really well. Obviously the Panthers are going to be there. The Roosters are definitely going to be there. They're one of my picks this year, honestly. The Storm will always be good. They'll be around about. The Rabbits are going to be a weird one, but I feel like they're going to keep the 8 position. The Knights are fighting to keep Ponga, so you never know. The Eels are like, they'll be around about. I don't know, that the Eels are a team that will like push finals, but I'm not too sure. The Cowboys, whether or not they can get on the same page, is the biggest thing with the Cowboys. Like, they could be the biggest disappointment. But obviously my Warriors, like, I feel like with Sean Johnson and stuff, like, obviously he's a change player now. He's a lot more of a playmaker, even though I thought before he was a good playmaker. But now that the athleticism from him has been sapped away a tiny bit, he's a bit more like, now people can see like how good he is actually at organizing, and like how good of a passer and the way he sets things up. I've always thought this of him, but obviously now the world kind of gets to see that part of him. The only thing with him is injury clouds. But other than that, like, we have one of our best forward packs we've had in a while, and it's the first Warriors team where I haven't seen that we're back heavy compared to forward heavy. Like, this year we're forward heavy compared to back heavy. We shipped off Mamalo and Fuss, who I love so much for those years, but now like we got some juniors. The one thing New Zealand can produce is great backs, so I'm not too worried about that. As long as we get consistent great forwards, we've got a good spot there. And the Broncos, obviously the Broncos fans are going to keep screaming that they're going to win the comp this year, obviously with good pickups, but they're going to be good. I feel like they're going to be good. It depends on, like, obviously Reynolds coming to a new club, Capewell coming to a new club, but everything they build around, they got great young forwards. Like, they're going to be there around too. So, onto my next video will probably be a ladder discussion, and then like during the year I want to keep doing the fantasy, I want to keep doing all this sort of stuff. So let me know if you like these videos, if you enjoy this. Like and subscribe. Again, comment down below. I'll comment, I'll like reading stuff and seeing if what I can build on and everything like that. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoy these videos, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.